Hey there. Happy Thursday. I'm Dr. Sabrina Starling, the business psychologist and the author of How to Hire the Best and the soon to be released 4-week vacation. So I'm coming to you live today on a topic that I hear a lot of questions about, and that is, Dr. Sabrina, how do I set my business up to run without me and still have that personal feel that I have created in my business since day one when I started the business? And how do I do it in a way that is there's a budget and that I can afford it and that I can actually afford to be away from the business? So that's what I want to focus on with you today, because it's actually something that sounds kind of complicated and hard to do, but actually it's one of the easiest things to accomplish as you're setting your business up to run without you. So that's where we're headed. Before we dive in, I want to share with you that on Monday, we are kicking off the Better Business, Better Life Jumpstart. This is up to 9 days worth of me sharing training with you on how to get your business set up to run without you, how to design that sustainably profitable business that gives you more time for what matters most and more money in your bank account than ever. So we're kicking off on Monday. Make sure you are signed up. If you can't attend all the sessions live, they will be recorded and you'll be able to watch them over the course of the next 9 days. So I hope you'll be with us for that. So let's talk about how to set your business up to run without you. And I know that if you're at the point where you're thinking about, I really want to be able to be away from my business and fully unplug, chances are you've been in business for years and you haven't experienced that freedom that comes with just turning the cell phone off and walking away and knowing that things will be handled. And I want to assure you, it absolutely can be done. So one of the first considerations is our own ego. We have to be aware that we're telling ourselves no one can do this as good as us. And I want to invite you to change that statement of, it's kind of a gremlin that's in our head that we're the only ones who can create that level of personalization. And we're worried that other people will screw it up and screw up relationships that we've worked really hard to establish over many years with our clientele. So recognize that as a gremlin. And the best thing to do with gremlins is to turn them into powerful questions. So we flip it around and we ask, what's possible? How might I create even a higher level of personalization in the business by not being the only one who is responsible for the personalization that our clients and customers experience? What's possible when I have a team of A players focused on creating a personalized experience for our clients and customers? Because now you can 10x or 20x the level of personalization because it's not just reliant on you. And if we're honest with ourselves, if we have grown our business to the point where we're working around the clock to keep our clients and customers happy, we have more business than we know what to do with, and we are stretched ourselves, we're probably not providing that level of personalization that we used to when we had just a few clients and customers at the very beginning. So by 10xing or 20xing personalization, by inviting our team to be a part of this and setting our team up for success when it comes to personalizing the experience our clients and customers have, chances are our clients and customers are going to be a lot happier with what they're experiencing from us. So the other thing that I think is important to consider here is recognizing that our clients and customers are only paying attention to a fraction of what we are doing for them. So we may be doing 100 things for a client or customer, and what they are noticing is going to be probably less than 20% of that. And our clients and customers are going to be pretty consistent in what they notice when we tune into who are our top clients and customers. So that means paying attention to and identifying the top 20% of our clients and customers who are responsible for 80% of the revenue, and recognizing the commonalities among those top clients and customers, and also the commonalities in how we serve them. So when we zero in on our top client profile and we start talking to our clients and customers and finding out what matters to them and what they're paying attention to, it becomes much easier for us to systematize that level of personalization in the business. And in fact, it becomes highly important that we do that, because as the business grows, it's very easy for pieces to drop out. Things that we've been doing that have been successful, we just forget to do them. We stop doing them. And we don't want to do that. So we want to identify what are we doing that matters for our top clients and customers, and ask ourselves, how can we systematize that? So the first key consideration is changing our own fear, our worry, and that gremlin that's in our head that says if we step away from the business and we leave it in the hands of our team members, somehow that personalization won't be there for our clients and customers. So we want to turn that around to a powerful question of what's possible when I invite my team into being a part of personalizing with me, so that it's not just reliant on me. How can I 10x or 20x the level of personalization that we provide when it's a team effort versus an individual effort? So that's consideration number one. Consideration number two is to identify what is it that our top clients and customers are really paying attention to. What part of the personalized experience are they tuning into? Is it that when they walk in the door, we recognize them by first name and we know something about their life and we ask them about those things? That is something that can be systematized. Is it that we follow up with them and we stay in touch and we check in with them throughout the project? That can be systematized. So look for what are those pieces, those small pieces of everything that you're doing that really matter, and be intent around creating systems around that. Now, the third consideration is who you bring on your team. When it comes to hiring the best for your team, if it's important to you to have a personalized level of service, you want to think about what type of individual, what personality strengths do the individuals on my team need to have to be highly attuned to providing personalized, customized service for our clients and customers. So when we think about that, it's probably going to be someone who is a people type. And I'm speaking people map language. That's an assessment that we use here at Tap the Potential. It's a 4-quadrant personality model, and it's very easy to understand. So people types are people who like people and who are very connected with people, and their relationships are what really are their most important, valuable. That's what they value the most. And so people types are the ones on your team who will know what's going on in other people's lives, and they'll be highly attuned to feelings and how to connect with people at a deeper level. And so if it's important to you to personalize, you want to hire team members who have that really strong desire to connect with people and engage them, and they derive energy from that. So that doesn't necessarily mean introversion versus extroversion. You can be hiring both introverts and extroverts. You want to make sure that they enjoy people, whether it is being out there with a whole bunch of people, being the life of the party, which is more of that extrovert type, or like me, I'm more of that introvert type who loves people. And I like to connect with people one-on-one. And so you can have both types on your team. You just want to find people who enjoy other people and who tune into the details that matter. So you might also be looking for someone who's more task type, who picks up on the details, and they're doing it in a way that they're paying attention to what matters to your clients and customers. So when you do that and you put systems in place in the business, you're really setting your team, you're laying the foundation, and you're setting your team up for success. Now, there's another component, though, of the How to Hire the Best system that is really critical here in order for you to be able to be away from the business. And that is for you to identify your immutable laws. These are your core values. These are your live and die rules that you have for life. Like when someone violates one of your immutable laws, you know it because you feel intense anger. So an example of an immutable law is like, I'm a woman of my word. If I tell you I'm going to do something, by golly, I'm going to do it. And it really bothers me when I interact with other professionals or business owners who don't hold that same immutable law. I just moved this past weekend, and I had an experience with the mover, and clearly that was not his immutable law. He was not holding up to his word, and it drove me bonkers. And so this is where we want to know, what are our immutable laws? And the easiest place for us to identify them is to think about what's ticked us off lately. My moving experience ticked me off. But there's also another way to identify them, and that is to pay attention to when we are proud. So what's gone on in your business that has made you exceptionally proud recently? That is something for you to be identifying as an immutable law. So at Tap the Potential, we are all about work supports life, not the other way around. And recently, we've had several team members who have had very difficult life circumstances going on, car accidents, deaths in the family. And we have created the opportunity for them to be able to be off and take care of themselves, to take care of family members, and not have to worry about what's going on at work. I'm so proud of running a business that way, that our team knows we have their back and we want them to have a high quality of life. And so that's one of our immutable laws. So you want to identify 5 to 7 immutable laws and then hire team members who hold those same immutable laws. And that's really the How to Hire the Best book. And the course gets into how you go about doing that. But the groundwork, the very foundation of it just starts with you identifying your immutable laws. And the beauty of hiring team members who embrace your same immutable laws is that you can be away from the business and you can trust the decisions that they make because their immutable laws are similar to yours. So something may come up while you're away and there may be no system for handling it, but because you've hired team members whose immutable laws align with yours, you can be confident that they're going to make choices and decisions that you're going to feel good about. They may not handle it the way you would do it. They might actually do it better because they're going to be less stressed. They're not trying to juggle 70 things like you are. And they're going to make these good decisions that you're going to feel good about, and you're going to feel proud of how they're taking care of your clients and customers. And so if personalization and customizing service is very important to you, that is something that you would want to weave into your immutable laws. And your immutable laws, when you're hiring, become your number one filter for screening people out. If someone clearly shows disinterest and a lack of alignment with your immutable law, then you just say, no, you're not. We're not going to be hiring you, because that's somebody who's going to create a lot of strife in the business down the road. So I hope this has given you ideas about how you can hire and how you can get yourself out of the business and still create a high level of personalization. Because when you have a team focused on personalization, a team aligned with your immutable laws, a team tuning into what really matters to your top clients and customers, you can actually 10x or 20x that level of personalization. Now, the other part of this question was how to do this on a budget, right? So when you implement Profit First in your business, it immediately creates a budget, because what Profit First is about is making sure that there is money available for profit, owner's pay, tax, and operating expenses. And that money gets allocated at the beginning. When the money comes in, it gets allocated into these different accounts. And so what happens when you allocate in that way is that we're putting profit first, we're making sure there's owner's pay there, and the expenses in the business have to align and adjust around the profit and the owner's pay and the tax being there in the business. This is what allows us to, and when we zero in on the sweet spot of the business, oftentimes we're able to reduce the operating expenses. So when we look at a business that serves all kinds of clients and customers and doesn't have as clearly defined sweet spot as it might, oftentimes there's expenses in that business that can be cut that allow us to operate the business with profit and with appropriate owner's pay in the business. So that's step one in our Tap the Potential solution. And I'm going to be diving into that early next week in the Better Business, Better Life Jumpstart, because at Tap the Potential, we are all about designing sustainably profitable businesses that give you more time for what matters and more money in your bank account than ever. So I've given you a taste today, a high level overview of what's possible, that you can design a business that allows you to be away from it and still deliver personalized service to your clients and customers. And as we go into the Jumpstart next week, I'm going to be walking you through the 5 parts of the Tap the Potential solution that is the guaranteed path to creating a sustainably profitable business that gives you more money in your bank account than ever, and more importantly, more time for what matters most. So whatever that is for you, if you want to be skydiving, if you want to spend more time with your family, and you just want to sit at home and read a good book, whatever that is for you, a sustainably profitable business that gives you more time for that. That's what we're talking about next week in the Better Business, Better Life Jumpstart. Be sure you are registered. I have a workbook prepared for you to guide you through the simple steps as we go next week. And I have designed the Jumpstart so that when you go through the Jumpstart, you are going to have insights and ahas and get results within the next few days that will move you forward significantly. And you be prepared, because you are going to experience a total mindset shift. And the mindset shift, I believe, is the biggest part of setting your business up to run without you, because you will start to see opportunities around you right at your fingertips to have a greater quality of life immediately and allow your business to shift and start taking care of you rather than you being the one taking care of the business. So I hope to see you on the Jumpstart next week. Tapthepotential.com/Jumpstart. Be sure you're signed up so you get your workbook. I'll see you there.